Humans have had a pretty violent existence thus far. If you look at history, not everybody has endured violence, but a lot of people have, and I think a growing number of people are getting sick of it. And if you look at the core of our lives, the very essence of life is about sexuality, because without sexuality there is no continuation of life. And beyond simple, obvious gateway to offspring elements of sexuality, there are also a lot of healing elements to sexuality as well. A long time ago, we had a common ancestry that branched off and became chimps and bonobos. Bonobos have also been called pygmy chimpanzees, but I'll call them bonobos to differentiate with chimpanzees. And we've known about our chimp ancestry, and so a lot of our behavior has been explained in terms of like our biological roots towards competition and aggression and alpha male, overcoming the beta male for the sexual prize. And bonobos symbolically are very rare species, and the only way they've really survived has been to be away from the world. And I think there's a lot of symbolism in that, in terms of people that want to live peacefully often choose to not get too caught up in the world as well. Bonobos are very sexual, non-possessive, and they use sexuality to maintain peace in their communities. And they, as you may know, if you've ever had an orgasm, it's hard to be violent in a moment of bliss. I was reflecting recently about one of the things that I don't like about monogamy in comparison to polyamory is that monogamy has within it, for a lot of people, an assumption of violence. And it could be physical, but a lot of times it's like an emotional or verbal violence that comes along with one's partner being attracted to someone else. I mean, people often have an impulse to be violent. Who's this other person? I'll fucking kill him, and or I'll fucking kill you, my partner. I'll kill you. I'll go from love to hate to violence, because what you feel is not okay. Now, why is that such a strong reaction for people? It's because they're body identified, and that means basically I am a body, and therefore the only way I survive is through offspring. And so sociobiologically I'm programmed to not want to raise some other person's child, and if I'm a man looking at it from that perspective, or want my offspring to stick around and can't run off with someone else who threatens my child's livelihood or whatever. So this violent perspective, I think that there is a fractal type existence between what occurs on a personal level and what occurs worldwide. And so the more we look at our assumptions about ownership in relationships and how we have to manipulate and control our partner and the people that they know, the people they might be attracted to, and all the work and effort and energy that goes into exclusivity, trying to maintain exclusivity. And it still doesn't work, because over half of all relationships have some kind of infidelity within them, and so all that striving for exclusivity doesn't really work. So even though we may think that chimps are where we come from, there's also a genetic connection to bonobos, which are really the most peaceful primates on the planet, and they're teachers to us. Look them up, research, find out more about them. It's incredible. And a lot of people have that longing for that kind of existence. They want to chill out. They want to be peaceful. They want to just relax and enjoy life. But they think, I have to strive, I have to compete. And so if you see the world as a place to compete within for everything, you have to fight for your money, for your career, for your livelihood, then you're going to probably more likely to carry that mentality over into how you perceive romantic relationships as well. You have to strive and compete and so forth. But there's another way that a lot of people are waking up to these days, which is, even if it's in the realm of survival, it's not about competing so much as just quieting your mind, tuning in, listening to guidance, and doing what you're guided to do. And you'll be guided in ways as to how to take care of yourself if you're listening and following through. It's not a real abrasive, aggressive experience. So you take the example of a partner being attracted to someone else. From a monogamy perspective, there's fear beneath the anger. There's fear beneath the control, fear beneath the violence. So what happens oftentimes is people are together because they are afraid of being controlled, they're afraid of violence, they're afraid of being left or whatever. So they have secret affairs, It could be physical, it could be emotional. The internet makes it a lot easier for people to have covert interactions that are an attempt, either consciously or unconsciously, to fulfill one's needs, which aren't all filled by one person, since that's a lot of pressure. So a monogamous reaction typically is one of anger, sadness, because somebody you care about cares about someone else. And so that which we experience all the time in terms of friends or family members or whatever, that it's okay for people that we care about to care about other people, it's not okay in sexuality because of that sociobiological drive to protect and the DNA investment and all that stuff like that. But more and more people are awakening and trying to transcend that. So if you look at that kind of situation from a polyamorous perspective, it's an opportunity for discussion. It's not an opportunity for anger. Attractions going where they will and being able to be talked about. A lot of times, just having the freedom to talk honestly to your partner or your partners, as opposed to so many monogamous people, their friends know all their little secrets and all their little, suppressed desires and wishes, and their partner doesn't know a lot because their partner would be threatened by them. So all of this dance, this entire dance that's going on in these different realms, I believe that if we want to have a more peaceful world, we have to let go of control. And that doesn't mean everyone has to be polyamorous, but if you are monogamous, then just let go of this idea that another person is like a vital organ to your existence, and therefore you must do everything within your power to keep that within you, to control that and keep it, because it's just about allowing. It's not, people in this world, just there's so much two-dimensional kind of like surface reality. People getting together and celebrating the miserable 50-year marriage of their grandparents or something like that. It's not about quantitative measurement, it's about quality. And obviously there are some people who have been together a long time who are happy, they have the same expectations, and that's fine. But it's not just about attaining some kind of longevity in relationships. It's about how you're feeling. Is a relationship helping you grow? And for people who just feel that, loving one person throughout the rest of their life isn't for them, polyamory offers an option, which is a flexible perception as to how love can unfold. It admits that it's unknowable. It allows for spaciousness and flexibility in one's life, because it's not about just finding one person that has all the perfect needs and hoping that they always have those, not perfect needs, but perfect values, perfect attributes, and then trying to make that work forever. It's not working for a lot of people. So polyamory can learn from the bonobos and use openness and freedom and allowing and letting go as a way to guide themselves, people who practice this way of loving, towards a more peaceful way of existence by letting go of competition. And I think this can have systemic effects for the entire world, getting away from competition and violence and aggression and control. Thanks for listening.